Police court. Mr. Zachary, my name is Max Schardt, and I represent Shannon Stillwell. How are you doing today?
I'm a,
Maybe pull it towards you. It's on. It says it's on.
Try that again. Mr. Zachary, my name is Max Schardt. I represent Shannon Stillwell. How are you doing today?
I'm okay.
Okay, it's nice to meet you. We've never spoken before in our lives, have we?
No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Zachary, let's talk about yesterday. Okay. You weren't feeling well yesterday?
Still not.
Okay. You're not in the mood to testify, are you?
Never was.
Okay. Now, do you recall yesterday repeatedly saying, I don't know, and I don't recall?
Yes.
Okay, let's be real. When you said, I don't know, and I don't recall to some of those questions, that wasn't the truth, was it?
No.
Okay.
Overruled.
That wasn't the truth, was it?
Nah.
Okay. Mr. Zachary, when the state asked you if you know what a gang is, and you said you don't know, that was not the truth. You do, in fact, know what a gang is, correct?
I know, like, what I heard is
Okay. When the state asked you if you know where about TIG Studios, and you said you don't remember, that wasn't true, was it? You do know TIG Studios, correct?
no, I don't remember that for real.
You don't know where TIG Studios are.
No, I don't remember that for real.
When the state asked you if you remember the night that Kenneth Copeland got jumped at Club Crucial, and you said you don't recall, that was not true, was it? You do recall that night, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. When the state asked you if you know what a trap house is, and you said you don't know what a trap house is or a trap is, that was a lie, correct?
Yes.
You know what a trap is.
Yes.
Okay. When the state asked you about being at, and I'm not saying at a particular time, being at Jeffrey Williams' condo at all that night going into the morning, whenever it was, and you said you don't even remember being there, that wasn't true, was it?
Can I answer and explain?
You can always answer
Yes.
and explain.
I don't remember being on that night, but I remember like probably early that morning, like probably 5, 6, something like that.
Okay, of course, because you went to Miami from Jeffrey Williams' studio, right? That next morning.
By 7 in the morning, something like that. Yeah.
Right, so you had to have been there at some point, correct?
I told y'all in the morning. I had told her that I had some in the morning.
Okay. All right, and when you were asked about some of the statements you made in 2015, you started saying, I don't recall, I don't recall, I don't recall. I'm not saying you remember everything, but you do remember some things from those statements, correct?
Yes, I remember some things.
Okay. The reality is, you don't want to talk about the things you said in 2015. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. In 2015, you lied on other people to get yourself out of trouble, didn't you?
I told her that.
Okay, but those lies are the very things that you don't really want to talk about here today. Isn't that true?
Yeah.
Okay. You understand that this trial is important for these gentlemen back here.
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Okay. We're not going to have the I don't recall routine today, are we?
I've been asking a question today, and if I don't remember, I'm gonna let you know I remember.
I appreciate that. Okay. Let's start with this. Your Honor, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Mr. Zachary, I'm handing you a document marked DS-44. Do you recognize who's in that picture?
Yes.
And do you recognize that document?
What you mean recognize?
This is Project 2025. Looks harmless, right? But the reality is this.
That picture.
I probably did, but I'm saying I don't remember.
Okay, did you tell the police back in 2015 you took that picture?
Yes, I think.
Okay. And the person in that picture, is that a fair and accurate representation of that person?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I would move to admit DS-44 in evidence.
Your Honor, if I could just see the caption, and I don't mind the rest of the picture, so. Caption. No objection.
All right, it's submitted.
Thank you. Mr. Kokomo, could you please publish DS-44 for the jury? Okay. Who is in that picture?
Shannon.
Is that Shannon Stillwell?
Yes.
Okay. And do you recall when that picture was taken?
I told you I don't remember when it was taken, like, but I think I remember the picture. I don't remember when it was, what exact day it was taken.
Okay, when did you
I
see the
remember
picture?
I think I remember what year it was taken.
What year?
It had to be late 14 or 15.
Late 14, early 15? Is that what you're, or are you
Yes.
saying late 14 or late 15?
Late 14, early 15, probably.
Okay. Could it have been taken in January of 2015?
I said early.
I understand. Okay. Do you see the caption on the photo?
You might have
mean-
to show him the,
Nah, I see.
You see
I,
that there's
I
a
had already
caption?
saw the caption.
Okay. Now, I'm not trying to be disrespectful here, Mr. Zachary. I'm honestly asking you a question. Okay. When you were saying that you couldn't read, is that true, or was that saying something you were saying out of frustration yesterday?
Nah, I have trouble reading and writing for real.
Okay. Can you read that caption? And if you can't, it's okay. If I read it, would you be able to tell me if I'm reading it accurately? Okay.
okay, it's zoomed in more. Can you
No, I
read that?
can't.
Okay.
I can't read.
All right. If I read it, would you be able to tell me if I'm being accurate?
I mean, how would I know?
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. What hairstyle, if you could zoom out again, Mr. Kokomo, what hairstyle does Mr. Stillwell have in that picture? Is it a short hairstyle?
Look like mine, yeah.
Okay. And let me ask you this. When you were saying yesterday, when you were frustrated that you couldn't see back here, was that true? Do you have trouble seeing distances?
I told, yes, and if they would have did all this research before they started asking me, they would have saw all these problems I had.
Okay. And I understand. I guess my question is, can you see Shannon right now?
Mm.
Okay. Are you aware that today Shannon Stillwell has dreadlocks?
I haven't saw Shannon and probably
Hang on just a minute. About the dreads? He said no, he can't, right? Isn't that what he said?
He did.
And Your
I'm just trying to see if the mic could get any closer, but not really. Can you just try to talk into it so everybody can hear you?
So you don't know what Shannon's hairstyle is today?
I haven't saw Shannon in like 10 years.
Okay.
Like 9 years, 2015, I've been locked up.
Okay. So let me just ask you this. In 2015, throughout 2015, all the time you've known Shannon, has Shannon always had short hair?
Yes.
Okay? And all those pictures that the state showed you earlier today with Shannon in them, all those pictures showed Shannon with short hair, correct?
The pictures of that they showed me with him in them, yeah.
They all showed him with short hair.
Yes.
In 2015, Shannon had short hair.
Yes.
And the truth is, he was also a bit skinnier than he is now, too, correct?
I can't. He was skinny then.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that. Now, let's talk about what was going on with you on August 5th, 2015, when you met with Investigator Gaither. Okay. As I understand it, on July 28th, 2015, you were arrested on a warrant, correct? You have to answer out loud.
Yes.
Thank you. And you were arrested on a warrant for the April 28th, 2015 incident where houses were shot up, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And the facts of that case, let's go through it. Demekion Garlington gets jumped at Club Crucial.
Yes.
Okay. Summer Good, who's your girlfriend at the time, and Alexis Bryant, who's your cousin, are also at Club Crucial.
Yes.
Okay. And your cousin, Alexis Bryant, at the time was dating a man named Trevante Turner, also known as Threat.
Yes.
Okay. There was a fight involving Demekion, and that fight led to threats against Summer and Alexis.
It led against who?
Summer, oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. Your girlfriend, SG, and Alexis.
You said it led against them?
It led to threats. They felt threatened.
Oh, yes.
Okay. And you were alerted to this.
I think I told them that, yes.
Right. Antonio Sledge shows up in his car at the house that you were at.
Yes.
You didn't go to the club that night.
No.
Okay. And Demekion Garlington is in the car with Sledge.
Yes.
Okay. Sledge is drunk?
I was in and out of it at night. I don't know if I was on Xanax.
Okay, so you were high. Do you have an opinion from seeing Garlington if he was drunk and high?
Like I can't tell how they molds, because I was like, if you know Xanax, you'll be out 1 minute, then back up.
The bottom line, Garlington was upset that he had been jumped in the club, correct?
I mean, yes.
Okay. You grabbed handguns, correct? Or when I say handguns, I mean firearms. Just put it like that.
Yes.
Okay. You hopped in the car with Sledge and Garlington,
Yes.
and you went to Alexis Bryant's house where SG was, correct?
Yes, I think I told y'all that.
We're just reviewing,
Yes.
okay? And you went there because you wanted to protect her, because she was your girlfriend,
And cousin that was there too.
and your cousin was there too. All right. And Sledge, who's driving the car, correct?
Yes.
He's someone that you have known since you are little, since you were a baby.
Yes.
Okay. And you and Sledge have a special relationship because neither of you are from Cleveland Avenue. Correct? You weren't raised there.
I was raised there. Yes.
You were raised in Cleveland?
Yes.
Well, you were born where?
Capitol Home.
Capitol Homes. And that's where you know Sledge from.
Yes.
So your early years were in Capitol Homes, correct?
To like 5. Yeah.
Okay. But that's how you know Sledge, because he knows your father from Capitol Homes.
Yes.
You've known Sledge the longest?
Yes.
You're most loyal to Sledge?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'd ask for clarification about when he says most, is that relative to whom? Everybody in the world or just a certain set of people? So vagueness, objection. Ask for clarification.
Can I clarify?
I'll move on. You're most loyal to yourself in reality, right?
Yeah, of course.
So the three of you drive to Alexis Bryant's address on Landrum, right?
Yes, yeah.
And you see people shooting from a car, or at least you see the car, and you see shots being fired at the house where Alexis Bryant and your girlfriend SG are, correct?
Yes, I think I said that, yeah.
We're just reviewing.
Okay.
Okay. And that upset you.
Yes, I mean, yeah.
And you and Demikian was already upset.
I mean, he got jumped on, so pretty sure, yeah.
Okay. And the two of you decided to get revenge on the people that were doing this to your girlfriend and your cousin, correct?
He say ex-girlfriend, but yes.
Ex-girlfriend, I'm sorry. A girlfriend at the time.
Yes.
All right. So you went to two houses, one on Adele, one on Drew Drive, correct?
I don't remember the streets. And
Okay, that's fair. You went to two houses
yes. I know,
after Landrum.
Are you gonna say something else? You may.
I said, I think from what, it was a house and an apartment or something like that.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that clarification. And you and Demikian fired at the house and the apartment.
I told him, yes.
And one of the guns that was used was a gun that belonged to Mr. Sledge, correct?
No, it belonged to me. I just told them it was slick. I got caught with it.
Okay. So it belonged, you're saying?
Matter of fact, I didn't even tell them it was Shale's gun. They told me it was.
Okay. All right. So you're saying it was your gun,
I mean, it
not
was,
Sledge's.
I was in my possession.
Okay. I hear you. Well,
I-
that's my
I-
next question. That gun, whether it was yours or Sledge's, you were arrested with it on May 7th, 2015, when you were driving around with Summer.
I think it was, I thought it was May the 5th. I remember I told you I woke up 2 days later in intake, so they probably booked me in May the 7th. I don't
Okay.
remember.
So May the 5th or 7th, we'll just say the first week of May.
Yes.
About either 7 or 9 days after this shooting, you are arrested with that gun.
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor. May I approach the witness?
You may.
Mr. Zachary, do you recognize what's in that picture?
Yes. Yes.
Is it a firearm?
Yes.
Is it a fair and accurate representation of the firearm that you know, that you know of?
Yes.
Okay, Your Honor, I would move to admit DS-48 into evidence.
Admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
Mr. Kokomo, if you would put on DS-48 for me. Okay. Is that the gun that you were arrested with on May 7th or May 5th or May 7th, 2015?
No.
It's not?
No.
Okay, is that a double barrel?
Huh?
Is that a double barrel shotgun or a double barrel gun with a banana clip?
That's one, but that's not the gun I got caught with.
Okay, that's not the gun you got caught with.
No.
Describe the gun you got caught with.
It was like short. It was, I think, gray and black. It was about that size though, but
It was about that size.
look probably a little bit shorter.
Did it have a clip like that?
Yes.
Okay. And was it fully automatic, semi-automatic?
It was, Semen, I think. I don't know the diff.
Okay.
Yes. Mr. Schardt.
Your Honor, just for the record, as uh, Mr. Zachary has not identified DS-48 as the gun that was used on April 28th, I would move to remove this exhibit from evidence, and I withdraw this exhibit.
Everyone wants to connect with a job they'll love. That includes the wide spectrum of people.
Thank you. Okay. So regardless of which gun it was, the gun that you were arrested with on May 7th or May 5th was used on April 28th.
Yes.
Okay, and you were aware that the shell casings for that gun would come back to that crime scene.
Objection calls for speculation.
You were aware that that gun left shell casings on the scene.
Objection, that would call for speculation too, unless.
If you know.
I mean, you and Demekian were shooting the guns.
Yes.
You knew that.
Yes.
Okay, and you were aware that the shell casings would be on the scene.
Your Honor, I'd ask for clarification as to which scene he's talking about. There were two.
Okay, both scenes from April 28th.
See, I didn't know anything about shell casing until I got locked up with the gun, and they said that preliminary hearing what I was on. I mean, about the shell case.
Okay, well, and thank you for bringing that up. That preliminary hearing where you learned about the link in the shell casings, that was prior to the August 5th, 2015 statement you gave, correct?
Yes.
So you knew that information going into the day that you gave the statement.
I think I said that. Yes.
I understand. Okay, Well, let's be clear. You remember, I believe it was on Friday, where the state was asking you questions about this incident.
I was on so much medicine Friday. Like I really like.
Okay. Would you remember when the state was asking about who you were closest to and brought up Shannon's name?
Yeah, I think I remember that. But that was I thought it was yesterday.
It may have
So
been
the day-
yesterday.
I don't know.
Days are running together, but let me be clear. You remember when the state started using the words they and those people? You remember that?
Yes.
And you remember when I objected?
Yes.
You remember when I asked the state to clarify who
Honor,
they were
I'm going
talking
to
about?
object as to the reference to what Mr. Schardt did and said, and ask that if he has a question about that day or night, that
I'm
he
getting
ask
there.
that question.
Focus, I think he's trying to focus his attention on it, but we'll go ahead and get to.
Remember
what
when
you
I
were
asked
gonna
Miss
ask.
Love to clarify who they was and those people were?
Yes.
And remember she wouldn't?
Your Honor, I'm
Um,
going to
That's
say
not
that it's not.
appropriate.
Okay, well, let's be clear. When you were saying yes to those questions about they and those people, you were not talking about Shannon.
No, I thought you were talking about Garlington and Sled.
Right. Your testimony here today under oath is Shannon was not there at all on April 28, 2015.
I told them that, but yes.
All right, and let me ask you one other thing. Trontavious Stevens is a shorter guy with dreadlocks, right?
I ain't saw him and I've been locked up like
Okay, back in
some, like-
2015?
Yes.
Okay. And if someone, like, say, a DA, suggested that Trontavious Stevens was
Objection, Your
there,
Honor. That would call for speculation, and it's an improper question. If someone said, like a DA,
Sustained.
was Trontavious Stevens there
Well,
on April 28, 2015?
nah.
All right. Have you ever heard anyone even suggest that he was there
objection, Your
before?
Honor, relevance to that question.
Sustained.
All right. Let's talk about your charges from April 28, 2015, okay?
Based on what Mr. Sharp has provided, we would probably need to approach before this is
Okay.
discussed.
Y'all good over there, jurors? Anybody need a break? You want to just sit there while we talk about this? Everybody seems good. Okay.
This isn't as explosive as I thought it was going to be, if I'm honest. But he did get him to admit on the stand that he was lying yesterday. And obviously, he's not going to say anything that incriminates still will. So I guess it may not be a need to go so hard. Oh, look at his face, y'all. Doesn't seem too happy. And that evidence, that gun thing that he had to take back, probably isn't all that great.
Thank you,
Mute.
Your Honor. Mr. Zachary. So, on January 28th, 2015, you were arrested on warrants. We already talked about that.
Oh, you said on April 20, 2015?
On July 28th, 2015, you were arrested on warrants from April 28th, 2015, correct?
It was late July. Yeah, it was late July.
And for those actions, for that incident on April 28th, 2015, you faced aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against Cecilia Davis, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you faced, and that carries 1 to 20 years, correct?
As to objection as to the relevance of what
Overruled.
Aggravated assault
Your
with a
Honor,
deadly weapon carries 1 to
Hang
20.
on, she may have another one.
my objection is what I spoke at the bench with respect to the documents that are being sort of banned about.
I understand the objection,
I'm-
as
okay.
does Mr. Schardt.
Okay.
I understand the rule. Excuse me.
That aggravated assault on Cecilia Davis carries 1 to 20 years, correct? Carried 1 to 20 years?
I think all of it added up like 189 years, something like that.
Okay, we'll get there. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon against Diamond Wells.
I don't really know their names. I know.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You do know that you were facing, let's see, you were facing 2 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
I thought it was more than 2.
Okay,
Yes.
you know what, you're right, 3.
Thought it was more than 3.
Aggravated battery against Denise Bell, the lady that was shot.
That's her name?
Yes. You had criminal damage to property charges, correct?
Yes.
You had gang act violation charges, correct?
Yes.
And you had possession of a firearm during commission of a felony charges, 2 of those,
Yes.
okay? And all in all, to your understanding, as you prepared to go speak to the police on August 5th, how much time did you believe you were facing?
I think they said like 189 years.
189 years,
Yeah.
okay? From July 28th, or whatever day you were arrested in at the end of July, to August 5th, the time you gave your statement, you were held without bond, correct?
Yes.
You didn't have a bond,
Yeah. I ain't had no bond.
okay? And you were being held in Rice Street,
Yes.
okay? And I'm not going to go through everything about Rice Street, but is Rice Street a place you wanted to be?
No.
Okay? And I'm not going to get into your medical history, but you have specific medical concerns, correct?
A lot of them.
Okay? Is that a place that you feel would give you treatment, appropriate treatment for your medical needs, Rice Street?
No, I almost died in there with like 2, 3 times.
You wanted out of Rice Street, correct?
Yes.
Mr. Kokomo, could you, with the court's With the court's approval, Mr. Kokomo, could you approach, Judge May, Mr. Kokomo approach the witness and show him a screenshot
Yes.
on the computer?
Are you going to print it out ultimately?
It's
or-
on the computer. It's part of an exhibit,
Oh, it's.
but we don't want to publish it until
Okay,
we lay a foundation.
okay.
Oh. Show the stamp. Did you give him a chance to look? No, but did you give him a chance to look? Okay. Did you have an adequate chance to look at what was on the screen?
Yes,
Okay, did you recognize the people on the screen?
I recognize me.
Okay, Mr. Kokomo, could you, was that you from August 5th of 2015 in the interview room?
Looked like it, yeah.
Okay. No, we're good, thank you. Your Honor, at this
Yes.
point, I would move to admit DS 41F, which is a portion of the August 5th, 2015 interview from evidence reviewer time 2.
Your Honor, I just saw a screenshot. If Mr. Schardt would just let me know before announcing what it is so that I didn't see a video, I saw a screenshot. He told me it was a screenshot.
Is it going to be just a screenshot or is it
No,
going to be
the
a portion of
screenshot
the?
was to
Okay, but what you want
From-
to admit in,
2/12/29 to 2/13/35.
does that tell you what you need or do you need to see it?
It's,
No, I'd
it's
like to
things,
see it, Your Honor,
Okay,
and I know.
all right, you know what, let's take a bathroom break. We'll let them review this while y'all are out. Yes, I mean, we haven't recessed, but there, anybody that wants to figure out what it is that is being shown.
Guess who's back? Me. I'm back. The Kelly Clarkson Show. It's a new season. It's bright, it's fun, it's new. I like it. It's a new season.
We're kicking off the savings at Parkway Ford of Lexington. Drive home in a new 2024 Ford Bronco and Bronco Sport.
And then Mr. Steele, if you want to just, okay. All right, so what is it, Ms. Love?
There was a photo of Mr. Stillwell
Right.
that was admitted, and we have a different photo that we did provide in discovery on another page of Mr. Stillwell's that we would be tendering, and I think it may have been the subject of some prior objections or.
Yeah, the photo definitely looks the same, as does the post. It's just on two different people's pages, the one that, or what are you saying?
Two different social, I think they're both Mr. Stillwell's, but they're like different platforms or different names. It looks entirely different.
And so you're saying you intend to tender it,
Yes. Your Honor.
and
I just,
there might have been an objection previously that would have ruled it out, or?
I wasn't sure. I just wanted to make sure
No,
that defense had a copy of it and saw what we were going to tender before they, so that there was no surprise while the jury was in the box.
Okay.
Well, this is, I mean, it needs to be that. We're on the same.
Well, we have a redacted one and one without the redactions.
Do I need to look back at what the ruling was?
No, I wouldn't. I litigated this issue to keep this out, but Your Honor didn't see that my way, and I accept that, so I admitted it.
Okay, I think that Ms. Love's saying it's in some way different because it's from a different,
Well, I mean, I got that from discovery, so.
It's a different one. That's not the one that we litigated. This is the one that we litigated. But I was just putting him on notice. If he's no objection, then we don't have a problem.
Well, I don't know why we put in two of the same post.
Oh, I do, because that's not exactly the same as this one.
can I see him? What's different about them?
One has a date.
Huh?
They have,
Oh, the date.
and
Well, the date was litigated. And that's the issue. You said it was admissible. We weren't certain about the date. I'm not hiding from the date, but I just don't, I think someone needs to authenticate the date. I think it's clear it was taken early.
Don't talk at the same time.
I think it was clear from the testimony, at least Mr. Zachary, it was taken early 2015 or
I
late
think he said
2014.
it might have been.
Right.
Yes. that it
I'm
was
not hiding from the
somewhere in
date.
the late
but-
2014 to early 2015 range.
And so to answer Your Honor's question, it was litigated with Judge Glanville, I believe, and he said it's coming in. But then I also brought up the issue of the hovering
Right.
to get the
which
date.
That's gone.
Right.
Okay, yeah, no, it does look like it's from a different page or account. So, okay. All right, thank you. You good? Okay. I don't know if the jury do we know whether the jury is ready? We're trying to see whether the jury's ready yet. And the fact that nobody's come back, that they're not ready yet. Still waiting. Okay. Not quite ready.
I'm Richard Hudson, and I approve this message.
Congressman Richard Hudson, wonderful warrior.
Donald Trump loves America. We stand with President Trump. Together, we'll fund the police. We will rebuild our military. We will stand up to communist China. Ladies and gentlemen, we will finish the wall. So let's work together. Let's.
The state had used 509Y, which was the certified, well, not certified, copy of the indictment and conviction for this witness for that case. But Mr. Schardt has indicated that he intends to tender or attempt to introduce the indictment only. And my objection is that I don't know for what purpose only an indictment is admissible. An indictment is, the indictment is allegations, so it's just hearsay, essentially. If he's going to tender the certified or even a copy of the certified, I wouldn't even object since he's already admitted that he pled to it, but to tender the indictment alone, I don't think there's any relevance to the indictment alone. I don't think it's a proper means of impeachment. He's already talked about and gotten the witness to testify that he was warrants were that he was charged with these particular crimes. I believe he named all of them, and if I'm wrong, Mr. Schardt can correct me. But I don't think that this is a proper piece of evidence, and I don't mean not just to go back out to the jury. I mean, I don't think that it's an admissible document, an indictment alone.
Well, there's two different things. It's what he's charged with by the police and then what he's indicted for. When he went in for that proffer, he was under indictment.
Okay.
And so the indictment is relevant. Mr. Steele, and I'd be happy to use the state's copy of the indictment, but they didn't admit it into evidence.
No.
So I can't do that. Mr. Steele is under the belief that he admitted that same indictment when during cross-examination of Mr. Sledge, but
I don't
We're
think
not
I
finding it.
indictment.
recall
Okay, well-
Just an indictment being admitted, but
No, and I don't have a problem if it was for,
I don't have it.
I-
It was to impeachment.
was it admitted?
Yes.
not
There's
an
code
indictment.
defense, but I can't find it yet. So it's Mr. Sledge, Mr. Zachary.
With-
co-defendants.
yeah.
Both pled guilty. I believe that I introduced a prior conviction of Mr. Sledge during cross,
Okay.
but I can't find it yet. So that's what Mr.
The prior conviction is one thing, the indictment alone is
But-
the other.
and I agree with that, but I'm not, and I'm not trying to impeach him with a prior conviction. That's something completely different. I'm impeaching him with bias and motive of what the police charge him with something,
Uh-huh.
and then the DA's charge him with something under an indictment. And I'm
Okay.
just trying to make it clear that to the jury, what the indictment that he was under when he went in and gave those statements.
Okay, so you could ask him that question? You can even read from it if you want to. I mean, but I don't think we need all of the language of the indictment nor the indictment itself. Just ask him, were you charged with indicted for, and
Okay.
then whatever.
Okay, I understand.
And Your
Oh,
Honor,
that's fine.
And Your Honor, I'd ask that, as it's a document that won't be tendered or admitted, that Mr. Schardt not be allowed to sort of waive it in front of the jury. I know he didn't do it intentionally.
I was just
before.
trying
It
to
was
read
just-
off.
I'm not going to direct y'all about
Right.
what you can hold in your hands.
I'm not.
Right, I was
that
just
wasn't
trying to
my
read
point.
last time, and I'll do my best to keep it on the lectern.
Mr. Steele.
Your Honor, I think it does come in the indictment without the attached conviction if we don't have the attached conviction
Okay, well-
because,
Mr. Schart's fine with just asking questions about it.
well, if he's
so-
fine, then that's okay. But my belief is at the time of the proffer,
Uh-huh.
it would go to Mrs. Zachary if he recognized the document. Yes, that was my incentive. So it would be a relevant document.
I'm not saying it's not a relevant topic for examination.
Right. Yes.
We ready for the jury? Yes, okay.
What is so funny? I want to laugh too, Judge.
Yeah, after Mr. Schardt finishes his examination, I'm not sure if Mr. Steele has, his is going to take his turn, but he gave to Miss Knight, while I was talking to Mr.
Mhm.
Schardt, a bunch of exhibits and a photo, I think some videos and a photo, but there are a lot of them, but I haven't had a chance to look at what it is that he's presented. So
Mr. Steele? Okay.
It's not that much. It's from the recorded interviews from August 5, 2015 and March 2nd, March 3rd, 2017. I did clips to make it easier for everyone, so I gave the clips. That's what most of them are.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Liv.
no, it's Mr. Schardt.
Oh, Sorry, I just was used to it being you. Sorry. Been saying that all day. Go ahead, Mr. Schardt.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Zachary, I want to talk about it. We're going to come back to August 5th, 2015, but I just want to talk to you about something else real quick, okay?
Okay.
All right. Beyond the April 28, 2015 shootings, you also had some issues in federal court, correct?
Yes.
And that revolved around your purchase of guns, correct?
Yes.
And you were accused of being essentially a straw purchaser.
Yes.
Okay, you purchased 3 guns in 2015, correct?
Yes.
Okay. One of those, I just want to talk about one of those guns. You purchased a Diamondback DB 15223 rifle, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And you bought this gun in January of 2015, correct?
I think it was early January, something like that. Yeah.
Okay. And you bought that gun for Kenneth Copeland, correct?
I didn't really buy it for him, but he ended up with it. So yeah. Yes.
Okay. Well, Kenneth Copeland, and you've already resolved this federal case, correct?
Probation.
Okay. So Kenneth Copeland in January 2015 approached you and said he needed a firearm, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then you're not a convicted felon at the time, correct?
No.
So you had the ability to purchase firearms.
Yes.
Okay. And you went to Arrowhead Pawn Shop to purchase a firearm, correct?
Yes.
And that was because Kenneth Copeland asked you to purchase a firearm, correct?
Yeah, he asked me for a gun. Yeah.
Okay. And when you went to Arrowhead Pawn, you didn't go by yourself, did you?
No.
You went with Kenneth Copeland and Antonio Sledge, correct?
I remember me and Copeland. I don't remember Sled.
Okay. And when you purchased this gun for, and as far as you know, you're the first person Kenneth Copeland came to asking this favor,
Objection, speculation.
as far as you know.
He told me that he told me the gang unit or something told him he can have a gun or something. It was something like that.
He told you the gang unit told him he could have a gun?
Yeah.
Okay. But what I'm asking, you don't know of him approaching anyone else before you to try to get their help. As far as you know, you were the first person he came to.
Yeah.
Okay. And you purchased this gun for Kenneth Copeland.
Objection, asked and answered 3 times.
Okay. Did you charge Mr. Copeland anything to make this purchase for him?
No.
Okay, you did it on friendship, correct?
Yes.
And that gun is the same gun that Kenneth Copeland ended up getting charged with on April 28, 2015, leaving it in the bag at the rec center, Dunbar Rec
Objection.
Center, correct?
Objection calls for speculation and hearsay, unless he was there. So,
Well, do you know what happened to that gun?
Your Honor, I would ask that he provide a basis for his
Sustained
knowledge.
as to the prior question, you've changed the question. If you know from personal knowledge.
What happened with the gun?
Yeah, not from somebody telling you.
Yeah, I'm on probation for it. He got caught with a gun.
Who got caught with it?
Copeland.
Okay. All right. Let's get back to the August 5th, 2015 meeting and that was with Investigator Gaither and Investigator Dennis eventually entered the room, correct?
Yes.
And I think Investigator Thorpe entered the room, correct?
Yes.
Okay. All right. On direct, you claimed that the police just came and got you. They wanted to talk to you. You didn't ask to speak to them.
I know for a fact I ain't asked, like, called them. Well, how am I, like, call them myself? I'm locked up.
Okay. Your Honor,
The Tonight Show, you can't turn the fun off.
The Tonight Show's delivered laugh out loud fun for 10 years strong.
That kid's going all the way.
We have a very
honest face.
And Jimmy Fallon makes the job look easy. Weeknights.
Chicken expert since 1990. Taco expert since now. New Zaxby's Chicken Finger Tacos.
You may.
And there's no objection.
Mr. Copeland, could you publish 41F? And Mr. Zachary, is that you in that, before Mr. Kokomo plays it, is that you?
Look like it.
Okay, and is that Investigator Gaither with the back to the camera?
With the dreads, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Move like that. On the little side.
Well, as you know, you contacted us. You want to come down here and make a statement about these cases that we have. Y'all been getting on my darn nerves calling me, so we're here. But even though you reached out to us wanting to talk, I still gotta advise you your rights, okay?
Okay.
That's a yes, you gotta say yes.
Thank you, Mr. Kokomo. All right, you heard Investigator Gaither say that you wanted to come down here to make a statement about these cases we have.
Yes, but I told y'all and them, like, pull up the phone records. My jail phone, I never called them myself. Like,
Okay. You heard her say, y'all been getting on my nerves calling me, so here we are. You heard her say that?
yes.
Okay. And you never corrected her on that?
I was going through withdrawals then. I don't remember. I mean, I probably wouldn't even focus.
Okay. You were going through withdrawals in jail, correct?
Yeah.
From the date you were arrested in late July to August 5th, you were going through withdrawals.
If you look at my jail records, like they always had to go through detox.
What kind of withdrawals? For what?
From Xanax and Roxas.
What does that feel like?
Roxas.
What does that feel like?
Painful some days, like stomach, head.
Is it misery?
Yeah.
Now you're saying that you didn't call Investigator Gaither personally.
No, I didn't.
Did you have family members calling her?
I think I had someone say they called her and asked her what I was locked up for and this and that.
Who was that person? Was that SG, your girlfriend, that was calling Investigator Gaither?
I don't remember. It was somebody. It probably was her.
Or was it your family, maybe your father or your...
Not my father ain't calling no police.
Okay. Well, you heard Investigator Gaither claim that people had been calling or you had been calling repeatedly.
Yeah.
Okay. The bottom line is you were desperate to get out.
Yeah.
Objection, asked and answered.
Overruled.
Yeah. Yes.
You wanted to have that meeting on August 5th, 2015, didn't you?
Really? Yeah.
You wanted to talk to the police. You were sitting without bond, facing 189 years, without any hope of getting out. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
You wanted to talk to the police to try to get yourself out of trouble.
At that time, I didn't know the details of that case right there, like what I was meant, like why I was being charged, but I know the gun I had got caught with, like, from what they was talking about in my last plenary hearing. That's what I knew.
Okay, well, you knew, okay. From your preliminary hearing, you know you'd been caught with that gun.
Yes.
And you knew that that gun was going to be linked to
A lot of
shooting of
shootings.
a lot of shootings. And you wanted to get out in front of it and talk to the police.
Yes, cause I knew they had that gun over my head.
Your goals, and you had from late July to August 5th to come up with what you were going to tell the police, didn't you?
I think I told y'all that I can't do. I ain't come up with it. I was coming up with it as I was just talking, really.
Okay. Your goal going into that August 5th, 2015 meeting, let's talk about that. You wanted to help yourself.
At first, yeah.
You wanted to convince the police, Investigator Gaither, Investigator Dennis, to make calls and get you a bond.
Yes.
You wanted to convince Investigator Gaither and Investigator Dennis to make calls and get you leniency on these charges that you were going to be facing.
Yes.
Actually, the first thing you wanted to do is try to convince Investigator Gaither that you were innocent, that you weren't even there, right?
Yeah.
You also knew, based on what Demikian had told you, that your friend Moontunk had been implicated.
I mean, like, we really don't be hiding that from each other, so yes, I know.
Okay. And you wanted to clear Moontunk, Antonio Sledge, as a shooter in this incident. You wanted to clear him from being a shooter.
As a shooter, yes.
Okay. And you remember when Miss Love was asking you about, well, you put him at the scene, so how are you helping him? Okay, well, let's talk about that.
Well, I thought by letting him know he ain't condoning it or did no shoes. I ain't know at the time. I was young, full of drugs.
In your mind, at the time of August 5th, 2015, there were degrees of responsibility here, correct?
What you mean?
Just being there is one thing.
Yes.
Being a shooter of the houses is an entirely different thing.
In my mind, I thought that's how,
Right. And so in your mind, at the time, by telling the police that Antonio Sledge was just there, just driving, you were helping him, even though you were putting him at the scene.
And I would tell him like he didn't disagree to it, but I didn't know. I was young. My first time going through it. Like, right.
You also wanted to get revenge on Demikian at this meeting, correct?
Yeah.
And let's be real, you wanted to talk about other things other than this incident.
I want to talk about. I wouldn't everything. They know I had already heard these things because my preliminary hearing. They knew that.
You know how the system works. You knew how the system works.
No.
Sustained.
You knew that people such as yourself, when you're in trouble, one way to get out of trouble is to give information on other cases, correct? You knew that.
I don't. To be honest, man, I was just young and dumb doing something, man. Thought I could.
Well, you wanted to talk to Investigator Gaither not only about your case, but you wanted to talk about other cases, didn't you?
Cases that had already been. It's like if you go get my preliminary hearing transcript, you'll see that a lot of these cases are already talked about, and I knew I had got caught with the gun that did a lot of these cases.
Isn't it true, Mr. Zachary, that you first started trying to talk about other cases and Investigator Gaither had to tell you, before we start moving on to other cases, we got to deal with your case first. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Okay. And the reason you wanted to talk about other cases is because information that you give is a bargaining chip for leniency in the future for you to get out quicker, correct?
I thought, but
okay.
Once I thought on like what I did, I never ended up taking no plea. Like when they were offering pleas, like to testify and say all the people and stuff, I never took them.
Okay. You made it clear to the police on August 5th. You made it clear to Investigator Gaither and Investigator Dennis that you wanted to get out of jail immediately.
Yeah.
You said, I'm saying I don't want to be sitting in no jail, man. Sound right?
Yes.
I'm saying, can y'all just tell them to release me on house arrest or something? Sound about right?
Yes.
And law enforcement, Investigator Gaither, indicated that they were going to do that for you, didn't they?
I don't remember.
Remember Investigator Gaither telling you that she's going to hop on the phone with the DA ASAP?
Yeah, she said something like that.
Mr. Zachary, when you sat down with Investigator Gaither and she wanted to talk to you about the April 28th incident first, your first thing you told her is you weren't there, isn't it?
Yes.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit DS 41A, which is August 5th, 2015 interview 21851 to 22201.
Admitted.
Okay, Mr. Kokomo. Oh, permission to publish, Your Honor.
You may.
Thank you. Mr. Kokomo, could you please publish DS 41A?
Talk about this, is what you've been charged with. What do you have to say about the case?
Keep playing, keep playing.
You wasn't where? What did you hear about it?
My DJ had jumped, like so, and then
You was at the house on Cleveland?
yeah.
Apartment, address?
Food prices are just too high. Kamala Harris's plan will bring costs down. Donald Trump, he'd impose what is effectively a national sales tax, a Trump tax that'll cost a typical family $3,900 a year. We need a president who fights for us.
Every morning in hardworking America, Hardee's biscuit makers rise to bake our
Where is this house located? Have you talked about
Landrum apartment,
Landrum and Zone 4?
on campus.
Off campus?
Yeah.
So who stay over there again?
My cousin Liz, right? And Tate.
That's what Javante said?
Yeah.
She your blood cousin?
Yeah.
I mean, you know how people say.
No, that's my real cousin.
So this gang got to shoot at them at Landrum.
Yeah.
Is this before or after D got shot at? I mean, got jumped on?
She say it did happen last. It was after all the shooting.
So first the shootings first D get jumped on, then the shootings happen.
Y'all tell me like from how I heard, like what I heard first.
Okay.
I like shoot. Most of them call me or something in the morning, you know that. But she like, most of them cussing D out, cause D telling them that he shooting him, they had shoot him in the face and something. Most of them told D that he had to find around home. And then that was she like, then that was D told, I would sleep. D told me that morning like they had shot up the house.
D told you that, say that you kind of skimmed over that part. When you say D, you talking about Demekion, right?
They real name.
You talking about Lil D from 30D,
Yeah.
like Mechanicsville? Demekion.
Demekion told me that they had shot at the houses.
And who had shot at the houses?
Him, Tay, and who it was? Shannon. He just told me nothing. He said him, Tay, Shannon, and some other boy named Trey Dunn. You can take.
Named Trey Dunn?
Yeah.
He told you personally.
Yeah.
How did he tell you over the phone?
Nah.
In your face?
Yeah, he's over my house. I was sitting there, like, he told me that they had shot the house, he said, and then what's called, that they shot up Larry, where Tay stayed.
So if gang came back,
Yeah.
and shot up
Yeah.
Tay house?
Yeah, someone right there. Like, I guess that was she was gonna go that night. And he said that when they went and Pierre home. That when they went and shot up Pierre home.
Who went up and shot up Pierre?
Him, Tay, Shannon, Trey Dunn. He told me them full name. He heard you say them. What?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Kokomo. Mr. Zachary, the first thing you said in that interview was that you weren't there that night.
Yeah.
That was a lie.
I told you 400 times it was a lie.
You claimed that you were at your house on Cleveland Avenue that whole night.
Yes.
That was a lie. Correct?
I ain't go to the club and stuff for real.
Okay. But you weren't there all night, were you?
Nah.
All right. You claimed to have information about what had occurred, though, correct?
Yes.
You weren't there, but you claimed to have information.
You see, I'm stuttering, stalling, making it up as I go.
I understand. You told Investigator Gaither that you knew what happened, not because you were there, but because Demekion had come over to your house the next day and confessed to you about what had occurred, correct?
Yes.
And that Demekion had told you that him and Tay and,
Yes.
this is the quote, what it was Shannon and Tradon were there with Demekion. That's what you claimed Demekion confessed.
Yes.
And that whole confession by Demekion was made up, correct?
I told y'all that.
That was a lie.
Yes.
Your Honor, I would move to admit DS 41B, which is evidence reviewer 223 to 22443. Permission to publish, Your
You
Honor.
may admit it.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like you kind of getting off track because we got your phone records too. All right? Yes, sir. What phone up? This is what we do. Okay. Remember when we locked you up the last time? Yeah. We went to the house and we ended up getting your phone number and stuff. And I got your phone records because that was your phone number, right? No, that ain't my number. Okay. Well, like I said, we can stop this right now because it's going in the wrong direction. And I don't want to waste your time or mine. Because this shit don't matter to me. My shit is good. This is what's going to fuck y'all. I got Demekion. Because y'all, everybody thinking Demekion snitching. This is Demekion phone number, wasn't it? Yeah. I got Demekion. I got yours. And wait, one more. And I got more. 622. 662, whatever. So I don't have no reason why.
So the media ain't necessarily have to tell it. You know what I'm saying? Technology told them.
So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was impressed about coming to get you and coming to talk to none of y'all. Y'all don't want to talk to me? That's fine. This is the opportunity for y'all to say y'all said. This is what's gonna fuck y'all. So I feel like once again you kind of going in the wrong direction. You said you're gonna come down here and be honest about shit. I'm being honest. You wasn't there.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Kokomo. I'm sorry. Let it go.
So then we really ain't got much to talk about. This shit is on you. It ain't on me. So y'all want to talk about other cases?
Okay, let's talk about that. In the beginning of that clip, Investigator Gaither is confronting you and saying she's got phone records.
Yes.
Okay. And she's telling you that she knows you weren't home all night.
Yes.
And you say to her, I'm being honest.
Yes.
That was a lie. You claiming that you were being honest was a lie.
Yes.
You said, I promise I wasn't there. That was a lie.
I told y'all it was a lie.
Investigator Gaither said to you, y'all want to talk to me, that's fine. This is the opportunity for y'all to save yourselves, because this is what's going to FUCK y'all. This is the opportunity for y'all to save yourselves. What did you take that to mean?
Fuck everybody.
Say it one more time.
Fuck everybody.
What's that mean?
I told you, like, I was just really making, like, at first I was making up stuff as I was going.
Let me ask you this. When you say F everybody, everybody includes Shannon?
It really was towards him and Demekion anyway.
Okay. And so when you say F everybody, you're taking that opportunity to save yourselves as it's time to start talking about other people.
Yes.
Okay. And what did you say right after she said it's time to kill your time to save yourselves? Isn't it true that you looked at Investigator Gaither and said, so y'all want to talk about other cases?
Yes.
Right after lying about your own case, you wanted to talk about other cases.
Cases that I had already heard during my preliminary hearing, like I've been telling y'all about the gun that I got caught with.
I got you. Okay. In the story you gave on August 5th, 2015, the story you gave, not your testimony here this week, but the story you gave back then, that was a story that managed to take guns out of Moontung's hands. And I'm not saying he had a gun, but you made it clear that Moontung did not have a gun, did not do the shooting.
Yes.
Okay. And you view that as helping him.
At the time.
At the time. Okay. And after lying and saying you weren't there, the story you told managed to add someone else into the car. Correct?
Yes.
Shannon.
Yes.
And that story took the gun out of your hand and put it in Shannon's hand, correct?
Yes.
So you could say, hey, I wasn't shooting it all that day. I'm not the bad guy. That was Shannon.
Yes.
In fact, you told the police, you went so far as to tell the police that Antonio Sledge said to you, we don't shoot up houses. That's what they do. Remember saying that?
Yes.
Remember Investigator Dennis laughing at you when you said that?
Yes. I don't remember laughing, but I remember saying that.
The reality, Mr. Zachary.
Hey, Patriot!
This is Michelle Morrow. She went to January 6th and called for a military coup.
The Insurrection Act completely puts the Constitution to the side, the military.
To speak for you, were high and did something really stupid. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Those three guys were yourself, Demekion Garlington, and Mr. Sledge.
Yes.
Demekion Garlington was upset because he got jumped in the club.
I mean, yeah, who wouldn't be?
You were upset because they were shooting at your girlfriend.
Cousin, really, yeah.
And your cousin. And the ballistics from that scene, as you've come to know,
I'm
and
going to object based on hearsay because this witness's information about ballistics from the scene would only be based on hearsay.
It was,
Your Honor, Your Honor, I'd
in
ask that
his
Mr.
knowledge,
Schardt.
Talk at the same time,
it
please.
was in his knowledge when he
Yeah.
gave this statement. And that's what's important.
Your Honor, the
And I
question
assume-
was
Ms. Love.
the question was about the ballistics on the scene, not what he believed, but he specifically stated the ballistics on the scene. That would be based on hearsay, and anything that he is eliciting from this witness about ballistics based on the scene, unless he has a way of having personal knowledge beyond hearsay, it's based on hearsay.
Your gun,
Now,
Uh,
respond. Are you
I'll just move on.
changing- Okay, great.
your gun, the gun that you had, the gun that you were arrested with on May 5th or 7th, 2015, ejected shell casings on that scene, correct?
Objection as answered and hearsay, Your Honor.
It's not hearsay, it was there.
It is.
Overruled.
What, I answer? I mean, answer.
Your Honor, the
Yes.
did the court mean overruled? Because he's already said that he didn't know. So it was asked and answered.
Well, overruled.
You remember in that clip I just played when you said, so y'all don't want to talk about other cases?
Yes.
Okay. The truth is, in this interview, you went on to talk about the shooting of a house where the mother of a rapper named Lucci lived, correct?
Yes, I think, yeah.
Okay. Is that, in your mind, is that a big case? Was that a publicized case?
I don't remember, but
Is that a case that the police were interested in?
yes.
Okay. And you ended up speaking to the police about that case.
Yes.
You ended up
Because
telling lies to the police about that case.
answer and explain, yes, because I had the gun. I keep telling y'all, all this came out at my preliminary hearing.
Okay. So you were trying to get ahead of that case because you were aware that the gun you were arrested with would match that scene as well.
Yes.
One of those other cases that you wanted to talk about was Donovan Thomas.
Yes.
Okay. You, in your understanding, that was a big case.
Yes.
That was the type of case that the police are interested in.
Yes.
That's the type of case that if you give information about that case, it can help you get a bond.
Objection, speculation.
Sustained.
In his mind, we have to look at his mind state when he's giving these statements. That's his bias and motivation.
That wasn't the question.
Sustained.
Okay. That's the type of case if you give information, get you leniency for shooting up houses.
Objection, speculation.
Overruled.
That's what I thought at the time.
As you sat in that meeting, you believed that giving up information about as many of these cases as you could would be good for you.
But like, yes, but if you all the gun is.
I understand.
Yes, yes.
It was a dual purpose. You wanted to give information to get consideration, but you also were trying to clear yourself from the cases that involved the gun you were arrested.
Yes.
Either way, this desire to help yourself caused you to tell a bunch of lies on August 5th, 2015, didn't it?
I told them I lied.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Okay, that information. Whoa. Okay. Let's talk about the April 28th. Actually. Your Honor, at this time, I have some certified convictions that I'd like to admit.
Okay, show them to Ms. Lee.
And Your Honor, for the record, if there's extraneous papers, I would like to just discuss that when we have a moment, but I'm not suggesting that there may be extraneous papers in there.
Okay. And I believe I've said this before, but if all of the attorneys could, to the extent possible, inform the other side before that day's trial what evidence you intend to use, it would make things go faster. And I know sometimes you just think all of a sudden, no, I want to use this exhibit. But for the ones you know you're probably going to use, please let the other side look at them beforehand.
This was completely my fault.
Okay.
The state has no objection to DS 49 and DS 50 with the exception of, I think Mr. Schardt called them extraneous on DS 49, the last two, and on DS 50, the last 4 pages.
All right. And so I'm not following. Are y'all? Okay. All right. Well, then
So
won't
with
matter
the
anyway.
exception of the last 2 on DS 49 and the last 4 pages on DS 50, they have information that is.
Okay, but they're
Honor.
not going to get published anyway. Okay.
Your Honor, at this time, I would ask to admit DS 49, which is the certified conviction, State of Georgia versus Quindarius Zachary, 15 SC 138994.
No objection.
All right. That's admitted and is
With the exception of
Is-
2 pages.
minus the last 2 pages. And is this the one you referenced as 49Y prior, or is this a different?
No,
No, state reference.
the state referenced it as 509Y.
Oh, okay.
509Y.
All right. Well, I had written down a DS 49Y previously,
his-
but that's not what this is, right? This is just 49, DS 49.
Correct.
Okay. Yes, it's admitted minus the last 2 pages.
And And also, Your Honor, I would move to admit what's been marked as DS-50, which is a certified conviction, State of Georgia versus Quindarius Zachary, 19 SC 165123.
Okay, minus the last 4 pages, right?
Correct.
Okay, that's also admitted.
And there's no objection from the state.
Yes, you may. Thank you.
Going back to the April 28, 2015 case, Mr. Zachary, we already talked about how you were charged by Investigator Gaither.
Yes.
And Demekion Garlington was charged in July 2015,
Yes.
and Antonio Sledge was charged.
Yes.
You got a ricotta with Calvani, Italy's #1 cheese brand.
You are the future. Pursue tech careers with the DeVry Scholars Program. Advance your ambition.
Charged by the police for the
Objection,
April
Your Honor,
28.
relevance and 403, and I can approach with the reason. I don't want to say it out loud.
Coming up.
Girl, what is this? I mean, I don't even know what the RICO is at this point. I mean, I guess it's the organized crime stuff, but nothing is making sense. The only thing for me that's making sense is these boys wanted to get out of jail. They were bad as hell as teenagers or youth and whatever. And they were catching them up on things that, you know, kind of like a theory. We know you did it, whether we can prove it or not. We know you did it. And they went as far as to build this entire big old case on Young Thug. It just doesn't make sense. I'm not connecting. And every witness so far is just revealing their tricks. It's weird. And it's just obvious that they expected to prosecute under who they normally do, like judges like Glanville. I don't know if it's more of them like him. But it's obvious the way they've set this case up with no real evidence, talking about there is such a thing as circumstantial, but you have to be able to lay foundation to get that in, and they are not able to do half of the stuff, and then they lying about the stuff that they do. So it's just awful. And this guy, for me, if I'm on the jury, all he has done for me is proven that whatever he said to the detectives, he was just lying and had really good reason to do so. Like with Woody, we had him wanting to not be in jail, and they had that gun on him, and he knew that he would do time. So he was trying to finagle. This poor kid is a whole drug addict, going through withdrawals and all of that and needing to get out. So they put them in these desperate situations to make them crumble, knowing they can't afford representation, and basically tell them whatever they want them to say or do, and they sign off on it because it's better than the alternative. And that's not real evidence. So I hate that he had that gun theme mishap for him. He seemed really disappointed about that. I can't even get that image out of my memory. Probably a little bit embarrassed too, because it wasn't the actual weapon, but he has done a great job of just steering away from anything that Shannon Stillwell could have had to do with whatever they're talking about, because they're talking about drive-bys now, and I think they're past the Donovan Thomas thing. And he even said that the boy wasn't even in the car, and he definitely didn't pull the trigger on anything. So a mess. I want to see what comes back, and I'm interested to hear him read off this rap sheet that this dude got, because clearly, I mean, he wasn't a model citizen, but I wonder if the state is going to prosecute him for perjuring himself. Like out the gate, Schardt was like, okay, so you was lying yesterday. You lied on the stand, right? And I think that is a condition. It's not a condition of the plea deal, but they can be prosecuted. So he can get another 5-10 years on that, which he doesn't seem to care anyway. Anyway, let's see what happens.
Thank you. All right. Okay. So, Mr. Zachary, I think you said that you were aware that Investigator Gaither charged Demekion Garlington, yourself, and Antonio Sledge for April 28th.
Yes.
Okay. Investigator Gaither never charged Shannon Stillwell, did she?
They never charged him or brought up his name.
Okay. All right. And this case, and I think it's right in front of you, this case, the April 28, 2015 case, was indicted by the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And
May.
it was indicted on November 13th, 2015?
Yes.
Okay. And that would have been, November 13th, 2015 would have been 2 months and 8 days after you gave this statement. It's claiming that Shannon Stillwell was there.
I guess.
Okay.
That's how long it would been.
All right. No, actually, I'm wrong. 3 months and 8 days.
I guess.
Okay. Did the district attorney's office, the Fulton County District Attorney's Office, ever charge in this indictment Shannon Stillwell with the events of April 28th, 2015?
Your Honor, I'm going to object to that question. The indictment speaks for itself and period.
Sustained.
The people charged were you, Antonio Sledge, and Demekion Garlington, correct?
Yes.
May I approach?
You may.
You're aware that this April 28, 2015 incident is alleged as an overt act in this case, in this indictment, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. I don't think that that's one relevant to just anything.
Sustained.
Okay. Do you know if in this indictment, Shannon Stillwell is even accused of the April 28, 2015 shootings?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay. 9 years have passed since the shooting of Mr. Bennett, YFN Lucci, his mother's house. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And 9 years, 9 years have passed since you gave this statement to the police. Correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you aware of Shannon Stillwell ever being charged for that crime based on your word?
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
All right. We're going to move on to what you said about the Donovan Thomas case back in 2015, right?
Okay.
And I know that you've said It's lies. Correct?
Yes.
You actually gave 2 statements to the police about these, all of these things. You met with the police on August 5th, 2015 with Gaither, Dennis, and Thorpe, correct?
Yes.
And then as the state brought out, you also had a proffer session set up by your attorney, correct?
That I didn't know nothing about.
Okay, to your understanding, did your attorney set that up?
I never knew until I got there.
Okay.
That's why we had I think it's supposed to be something happened behind that or something. I never heard nothing else about it after the fact.
To your understanding, was the purpose for you to give information on other people to try to get leniency on your case?
I told you I don't even know like what that was. Like I never even like to be honest, like that wasn't even my lawyer at the time.
Okay.
So that's how I don't know. Though I told you something supposed to happen behind.
Well, let me ask you this. On March 3rd, 2017, you were still in jail, correct?
Yes.
Still wearing a blue jumpsuit, correct?
Yes.
And March 3rd, 2017, it was no different than August 5th, 2015. You wanted out, correct?
Yes.
You were still facing the same charges.
Yes.
All right. You've testified, or strike that. The state asked you about 2 different statements you gave, right?
Yes.
About 2 years in between, or a year and a half in between.
Yeah.
Okay. And you've been asked about what you said about Shannon, my client, allegedly confessing to you.
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Zachary, you would agree that the truth never changes, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. It's just vague and bowstring and
Overruled.
You would agree the truth never changes?
Yes.
You would agree that if you tell a true story on different days, that story should not change.
objection, vague, improper.
Overruled.
Man, I ain't.
Answer my question, and you would agree that if you tell a true story on 2 different days, that truth should not change.
Feeling Claritin Clear is like
Is she
letting her
Which is August 5th, 2015 statement. Evidence reviewer 25115 to 25145. And Mr. Kokomo, if you could pull it up but not play it yet.
Is this DS and Delta?
D.
Okay.
S, yes.
No, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
not
sorry, the
DS.
bat, yes, Delta, thank
Yeah,
you.
okay.
Yes.
DS. Which one? DS.
DS 41 Delta.
Thank you.
And,
State has no,
oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say state has no objection.
All right.
Okay. And Mr. Zachary, in these interviews, they asked you about where and when this confession occurred, correct?
Yes.
All right. Mr. Kokomo, could you publish DS 41 Delta?
All right, and it is admitted.
Where were you guys when Shannon was telling you this, and what day was it? Same day or the day after?
Same night. Shannon, I walked in through. I had just walked me and Mooks when I just pulled up at the house. And Shannon finna go to a girl house. And all the bullets were going out the gun. Like, he like, we ain't got no gun. They see Mooks some gun.
Right.
Mooks had a little handgun. They see Mooks some gun and go to the store. Mooks say, wait, I ain't got no bullet. And that when Shannon started talking.
Now, Mr. Zachary, as I understand your testimony today, your testimony is when you showed up at Jeffrey Williams' condo that night or that morning, early hours of the morning, Shannon was not there. Is that your testimony? I'm talking about in court now, under oath.
I think when I first got there, Shannon went down.
Okay. However, in this statement that you gave August 5th, 2015, you told the police that you pulled up with Muntunk and you saw Shannon when you arrived.
Oh, man, go ahead, answer. Man, they know them were lies. How long ago that was? Every lies.
I understand, but I'm asking, that's what you said on August 5th. That was the lie you told.
Yes.
Okay. And the lie you told was Shannon said he was about to go to a girl's house, correct?
Yes.
Meaning Shannon had not gone to a girl's house yet. He was about to go.
You say that would happen?
No, I'm saying that's what you told
Yeah,
the police.
meaning.
And you told the police when Shannon was about to go to the girl's house, that's when you started talking and he confessed.
Yes.
All right. Your Honor, I would ask, I'd move to admit DS 37B, which is from the March 3rd, 2017 interview from 3418 to 3438.
Admit it.
And permission to publish.
You may.
And supposedly everybody went back to Doug's condo on 10th Street.
Nah, when I'm that with me, Doug, and Dottie. Shannon had them came later that morning though. But when we found out Nook died, then my right there with me, Shannon, Munson had pulled up too, because he had heard, he called her, he pulled up.
Okay. So in that clip on March 3rd, 2017, you were asked about when you pulled up, right?
Yes.
To the condo. And you said the only people there were Yak, Thug, and Dolly. Correct?
Yes.
And that Shannon didn't show up until later that morning.
They told you that. Yes.
You told them that Shannon was not there when you arrived at Jeffrey's condo.
Yes.
Your Honor, I move to admit DS 38B, which is also from the March 3rd, 2017 interview from 1545 to 1609. Permission to publish.
Who was with you at the condo when Monton called and said?
Me, Doug, Dolly. Dolly, and the Doug girlfriend.
Where was Shannon?
Him and Demetrius with some girl. Some girl dropped him off at the condo.
Later on?
About right 4, 9 times, like 4, 5 in the morning.
4, 5 in the morning. That's
Okay. And that clip, that second clip from March 3rd, 2017, again, you say that Yak, Dolly, Thug, and you were at the condo.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
And you were specifically asked, where's Shannon?
Yeah.
And you told, did you recognize that voice as the person who asked you?
Dennis.
Okay. And you told the police and the DAs that were sitting in that meeting that Shannon was with some girls with Demekion.
Yeah.
And they didn't show up to Jeffrey's condo until 4 or 5 in the morning.
Told you that, yeah.
Your Honor, I'm going to move to admit DS-39A, which is also from the March 3rd, 2017 interview, 1815 to 1833.
It's admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may, and I'm sorry, did you say 38 or 39?
39A.
Okay.
If Demekian and Shannon came in at what, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, where y'all been in for the last 7, 8 hours?
It wasn't girl. That was dropped. I'm saying that was dropped off at the studio.
What girl?
I don't know the girl from Canterbury.
That's what they told you?
We saw the girl.
Right, but
Okay. In that clip, Dennis is asking about Shannon again, correct?
Yes.
And he changed it. You had already told him 4 or 5. He changed it to 3 or 4, and you corrected him and said, no, they didn't show up till 4 or 5 in the morning, correct?
Yes.
And you said they were with girls, right?
Yes.
And Dennis tried to say, oh, that's what they told you. And you told him you saw the girls,
Yes.
okay? And because you, in fact, did see the girls that night.
Yes.
When
that morning.
Right, that morning, thank you. When Shannon and Demekian showed up at 4 or 5 a.m. And they were girls from Mechanicsville.
I don't know where they were from for real.
Okay. Your Honor, I'm going to ask to admit DS-39E Echo into evidence, and that's also from the March 3rd, 2017, from 3644 to 3719.
Admitted.
And you talked to Shannon when he got there that night?
That morning, yeah.
All right, and that's when he told you that he actually was in the car.
Just said we called him down there.
All right, that he and some other guys killed Nut, basically.
Just we called it down there.
All right. Well, he said that he ran across Nut that night, right? And he said he was with Yak,
He didn't
Nard.
tell me why he was meeting. I told him.
Okay, so
Okay. So that is where you're telling the lie on Shannon in the 2017 interview, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, I understand it's a lie, but let's talk about the details that you gave there in that clip. Shannon told you we caught Nut down bad when he got there that morning, correct?
He didn't tell me that.
No, I'm saying that's what you told the police.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting that. That's what you told the police
Yes.
after he got dropped off by the girls.
Yes.
And in fact, you're the person who let him in the condo when the girls dropped him off, correct?
Yes.
Because you need a card to get into the condo and you had to go down and let them in, and that's how you saw the girls.
Yes.
And in 2017, your claim was Shannon told you after he got back from the girls' house.
Yes.
All right, so let's review. You would agree from 2015 to 2017, your story about the circumstances of this supposed confession changed.
Yes.
August 5th, you claim that Shannon tells you after asking you for a gun or asking Muntu for a gun so he can go see girls. Right?
Yes.
2017, you're claiming Shannon confessed. You're claiming you never saw Shannon that night when you arrived. And you're claiming Shannon confessed after he returns, after he's been dropped off by the girls, which you saw.
Yes.
Both lies.
I told her they were lies.
But the lies changed, didn't they?
Yes, I ain't even remembering. You see, they were saying, and I.
The truth doesn't change, but lies change, correct?
Yes.
All right, let me ask you this. On March 3rd, 2017, when you told that second version,
Project 2025 seems harmless, but it would give Trump power like no president has ever had over your daily life. His plan includes a nationwide abortion ban, ripping away access to contraception, gutting affordable health, eliminating the Department of Education, allowing companies to deny workers overtime pay.
Zaxby's Chicken Finger Tacos. Get 9 now in the $20 Taco Tailgate Variety Pack. It's good!
clarification of why your story had changed?
No.
Okay, let's talk about what Mr. Stillwell, again, it's a lie, but what your lies were, what he supposedly confessed to, okay? Okay, we're going to talk about that next. All right. Your Honor, I move to admit DS41C, which is from the August 5th, 2015 interview, 249:30 to 249:51.
Admitted.
Permission to publish.
Hey, nothing, man. So, do you remember the exact words that Shannon told you as far as what happened? Yeah. Like we said, caught a nigga nut down bad. We said we caught the nigga nut down bad. Yeah. I understand. Like me, yeah. Nod, doo-wop.
Okay. In August 5th, 2015, the lie you gave was that Shannon said we caught the N nut down bad, right?
Yes.
And the lie also, you also added to that lie by saying Shannon told you that it was him, Yak, Nard, and Doo-Wop in the car, correct?
Yes.
And as Ms. Love has brought out in direct examination, you also claim that Shannon gave you all sorts of details about the incident. That was the lie you told in 2015.
Yes.
Okay. Your Honor, I move to admit DS39E, Echo, which is from March 3rd, 2017.
No
from
objection.
3644 to 3719.
Admitted.
Permission to publish.
Okay.
And you talked to Shannon when he got there that night?
Morning, yeah.
All right, and that's when he told you that he actually was in the car.
Just said we caught him down bad.
All right, that he and some other guys killed Nut, basically.
Just we caught him down bad.
All right. Well, he said that he ran across Nut that night,
Yeah.
didn't he? Right, and he said he was with Yak,
He didn't tell me
Nard.
why he was weekend. I told him.
Okay, so
Okay. Mr. Zachary, you just saw that clip?
Yes.
Okay, on March 3rd, 2017, when you were being questioned by law enforcement, you told a lie. And you said that Shannon said, we caught Nut down bad.
Yes.
And law enforcement asked for clarification about what else he said. And they said he told you who he was in the car with, right?
Yes.
And you told law enforcement, no, Shannon didn't tell me who he was in the car with. Demekion told me.
Yes.
Okay, that your story about what Shannon said to you changed
Yes.
from August 5th, 2015 to March 3rd, 2017.
Yes.
August 5th, he's given all these details. March 3rd, 2017, he just says, we caught someone down bad, and you get the details from someone else.
Yes.
Okay? Your Honor, I move to admit DS 40D, which
No
is
objection from the
for the
state.
March 3rd, 2017, 25923 to 25946. Ms. Kokomo, if you'll play that when you get it up. Oh, and this is just an audio clip, Your Honor.
All right, so that was one of the four guys that was in the car when Nut got shot. All right.
Based on what?
For Shannon.
For
No,
the
Shannon.
Shannon? For the video?
Shannon is who's in for
That's right. You said. The video tell you what the whole entire starting lineup.
Yeah.
So he had nothing to do.
Could you hear that?
No.
Okay. Can you play it any louder, Mr. Kokomo?
And if that doesn't work, he might be able to plug those headphones into that laptop.
Oh.
Or maybe not.
Ms. Percival didn't seem to have a lot of faith in me doing it correctly.
Percifield's the closest thing we have to IT.
Yes,
so we'll go with what she thinks.
Ms. Kokomo saying we can play it loud.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know about the seating arrangements. Weird. I feel like it's like I'm like at the United Nations over here.
And Mr. Kokomo, it's 25923. He's trying to pull it up on evidence review.
I think that part was the part that was
Right.
relevant.
Perfect.
I got mad about it, yeah, but Weinstein told me don't get out the car and get out the car.
Who's that guy right there? You recognize him?
That dude walk look like, yeah.
All right, so that was one of the four guys that was in the car when Nut got shot. All right.
Based on what?
For Shannon.
For
No,
the
the
Shannon?
Shannon.
For the video?
Shannon is who's in for
That's right. You said.
Did you hear them ask, who told you who was in the car?
Yes.
And they said, who told you, Shannon?
I said, yeah.
And you said, no,
No,
Demekion.
yeah.
Okay. So the clip in 2015, the lie you told in 2015 was Shannon confessed and told you everything, right?
Yes.
Lie you told in 2017, Shannon confessed, says we caught Nut down bad, and Demekion says who's in the car.
He ain't say nut. I think I said he said nigga or something.
Okay. All right, N-word down bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Either way,
It was a lie.
2015 to 2017, the lie changed. Not only the circumstances surrounding this quote unquote confession, but what was said in the quote unquote confession changed.
Yes.
over 2 days, on 2 different days, 2 different tellings of the story.
Yes.
The fact that what you were claiming Shannon told you to these law enforcement and DAs on March 3rd, 2017, did any of them say, hold on, Mr. Zachary? Back in 2015, you told us this. Now you're telling us this. Explain it. Did anyone ask you to explain it?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about a pattern that's emerging here. April 28, 2015. You don't want to implicate yourself, right? You don't want to get yourself in trouble. You want to distance yourself from those shootings, right?
Objection compound.
Sustained.
You don't want to put yourself at the scene,
Yes.
but you still want to give information to the police to get out of jail.
Yes.
Okay, and your first instinct, the very first thing you did is say, I wasn't there, but someone confessed to me what happened, right?
Yes.
And that confession was wholly made up. It was a lie. That confession never occurred.
Yes, it never.
Okay. Investigators bring up the Donovan Thomas case. In that same interview, you say, I wasn't there, but I have information that can maybe get me some help, right?
Yes.
Get me out of jail, get me leniency.
Yes.
And it was a confession that someone just told you. That's the
Yes.
information you had.
Your Honor, these are asked and answered.
I'm Richard Hudson, and I approve this message.
Congressman Richard Hudson, wonderful warrior.
President Trump is going to unite this country. But let me tell you somebody.
Let's talk about these lies that you told, how they worked out for you.
Your Honor, and I, with respect to the commentary, I object.
You said you were facing, what was it, 190?
189.
189 years?
Yeah.
Okay. You pled guilty to that 2015 case in what, 2017?
Late
Objection
2017.
asked and answered.
Late 2017.
Late 2017, and you were,
I was
out of those 189 years, how much time did you end up serving?
like 28 months in Rice Street, but I had another case I was fighting to.
Right, and you ended up getting 28 months, actually 27 months in Rice Street, total sentence for the shooting case and the gun case, correct?
Nah, I had beat the gun charge, but they ain't never
Whatever that case is.
what case? This
19
one here?
SC. Oh, you're talking about their federal case.
Nah, you say I had like 4, 5 open cases at the time.
Okay. The bottom line is, we just talking about this one case, facing, in your mind, 189 years, you get 27 months.
But I still had other cases too.
And were they wrapped into the 27 months?
Nah, it was separate.
Okay. So you got 27 months for that shooting case. You got to go home as soon as you pled, right? As soon as as soon as they released you from jail, you got credit for time served, release time served, right?
No, I said Rice Street for I got credit for time served in court, but I still had 6 more.
6 more months, then you got to go home.
Yeah.
Okay. And you're on probation.
Yes.
Mr. Zachary, you've admitted to buying a gun for Kenneth Copeland, correct?
Yes.
You've admitted to being in possession of guns that were on the scene of multiple shootings,
Yes.
okay? You admitted to being present and making a video with Antonio Sledge threatening to shoot Shell Cal.
Yes.
Okay. You admitted to posing in a picture. Oh, that video with Antonio Sledge,
Yeah.
that's part of this indictment, correct?
I don't know.
Objection, Your Honor. Foundation,
He doesn't know, he doesn't know.
foundation, relevance. The jury has the indictment.
You admitted to posing in a picture with gun pointed at the camera with Demekion Garlington?
Yes.
With the caption, "We bring homicide"?
Yes.
That's charged in this indictment, right?
Objection, Your Honor.
You don't know?
Sustained.
Okay. Were you ever put on this indictment?
Objection, Your Honor. Relevance, foundation.
Were you ever charged under this indictment?
Nah, they know they ain't never wanted to charge me.
Okay. So you were facing 189 years.
Objection, asked and answered.
I don't know what the rest of the question's gonna be.
You served 27 months, and then you were left off this indictment.
Objection.
Right?
Asked and answered, Judge.
Yes, sustained.
You would agree that the lies you told back in 2015 and 2017, it worked out pretty well for you, didn't it?
Objection, Your Honor. Improper question bolstering.
Overruled.
Like, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I never took no plea, even when they were offering. I never took no plea.
I understand.
And I got right out and met with Shannon lawyer and told him I was lying. Like,
Was that me?
no, he had another lawyer.
Okay.
But I never, even my last case I just caught, they were offering pleas for, I was locked up 4-5 months. They offering pleas to my upcoming cases. I never knew what they were. I never took no plea. I said 4 more years, even when they were offering me time served.
Okay.
I never wanted to take no plea, go home. I was just young at the time, and as I learned,
The truth is, Mr. Zachary, that you did lie and you didn't want to be here today.
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
Okay. You didn't want to be here today because you knew these lies were going to come out.
no, I wanted to be here. That way I can clear the lies up. Like, I've been trying for years. This ain't that new. As his old lawyer, I've been trying to clear them up. This ain't new. They know that.
You're on probation?
Yes.
Okay. Until recently, you had an attorney, correct?
I never knew about the attorney until he showed up while I've been in the hospital.
Okay. But
Yes.
that is correct?
Yes.
Okay. Were you aware that in open court,
Objection, Your Honor, as to whether or not I'd ask that the witness be required to give a foundation for anything done while he wasn't in here, considering the rule of sequestration.
involved him? Were
don't
you
know what the
aware
question's
that in open court, DA Love wanted to remind your attorney that
Objection,
you're
Your
on
Honor,
20 years
that is
probation?
not relevant, and that is improper, and Mr. Schardt knows that.
Sustained.
I have no further questions.
All right. Any other defense counsel have questions?
Thank you, Mr. Zed.
All right, how long's your questioning going to be? Hours plural or? Okay, well, let's get started. Yes, we can. And actually, are there any other defense counsel who are going to have questions for this witness? No.
I'm gonna have questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you know how long yours is going to take?
It's never very long, maybe 15 or 20 minutes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, let's take a break and then let's do the shorter questioning and then we'll go from there, see where we are. Okay. As in you are going to decide later? Okay, that's fine. Try to make this a quick break.
So that was interesting. I'm out of fast forwards. I guess in closing with Schardt, what I'm gathering is this guy should have been indicted as a co-conspirator. If anything, he had the weapons. He was present. Like, I would think that he would be in Shannon Stillwell's spot, and Shannon Stillwell could be possibly in his spot. If I'm the jury, I'm like,
Hear an objection that the state has regarding the last line of questioning by Mr. Schardt. When the state objected based on the beginning of his question, and Mr. Schardt asked the question that he did, are you aware that the district attorney told your attorney that you face 20 years of probation? This is not the first such kind of question regarding something that is improper that has come up. And I would ask the court to remind counsel that those types of, that's not an appropriate line of questioning. It's not a relevant line of questioning. And it's just an attempt to essentially cast aspersions on opposing counsel. And I don't think that that is proper, at least not the question that he asked.
Your Honor, I wasn't casting aspersions on opposing counsel. I was casting aspersions of what opposing counsel did. I couldn't
Same
believe.
thing, Your Honor.
Can I finish? I couldn't believe it when I was in court the other day, and a DA is sitting there talking to, in open court, to the attorney of a witness, and is openly saying, "I just want to remind him he's on probation for 20 years. I mean it." And my thing is, she knows why she said it.
Your Honor.
That message was to be relayed to to Quindarius Zachary. That's the only reason it would be said in open court. And I assume that Mr. Scheib, in his short tenure as attorney for Mr. Zachary, conveyed that message, because that message was made loud and clear in open court. And Mr. Scheib was not the one that needs to testify, according to the state. Mr. Scheib's not the one on probation. Mr. Zachary is. So yes, when the state says about a state's witness to their attorney in open court, I just want to remind him he's on probation for 20 years, and I'll charge him with perjury and will revoke his probation, whatever was said, I will rely on the transcript. Yeah, I assume that message has been relayed to the witness, and I do believe it was intimidation. I'm not going to sit here and say it's witness intimidation and all that. I'm not saying that, Judge. What I'm saying is intimidation in the colloquial layman's term sense. It was a message that was sent, and I wanted to see if he received the message, because that is relevant to his bias and motive in testifying.
Your Honor, Mr. Schardt knows that, number one, all of the things that he's representing is being said weren't said, and he still knows that that was an improper question to place before this witness. And to the extent that any attorney is asked something outside the presence of the witness to ask. Was told that his client should not commit perjury, and I don't think all of what Mr. Schardt said was even what was actually said. But the question that he asked the witness was not a proper question. It was just an attempt to paint a lie to the jury that someone is trying to intimidate this witness, when frankly, the only person that the witness has been friendly to is all of his friend Shannon's lawyers. and Mr. Scheib is talking to Mr. Stillwell's lawyer, and Mr. Scheib is representing Mr. Zachary. So the idea that somehow the state is trying to intimidate a witness is ludicrous when this, and that the lie that he's putting before the jury that that is what is happening is improper, and he knows it's improper. And I would ask that the court keep him from making those types of false assertions, false representations, misleading representations before the jury under 403.
Note, Your Honor, that not one time when Mr. Zachary was on the stand did I claim that Miss Love intimidated him. I never used the word intimidate in front of the jury. I'm talking about. What I said was, are you aware and that Miss Love talked about your, I can't quote directly, but talked about you're still on 20 years probation, which was said. I don't even independently know how many years probation is on. The only reason I know is because Miss Love said it in open court. So everything was factual. And, I think it's relevant when a DA is saying, and I'm not trying to pick a fight with Miss Love. If people are difficult witnesses, we all deal with difficult witnesses in different ways. So I'm not even trying to judge what she said or how she said it. All I'm saying is it was said. And I wanted to know if he got that message, because that message was clearly intended for him. It wasn't intended for Dennis Scheib.
Well, I'm not sure that's true because at the time, I don't think they had yet negotiated the terms of the immunity deal. But Ms. Love, your objection was sustained. So it's really all there is to it.
Your Honor, I think the main thing to it is that Mr. Schardt he talked.
Miss Love, I'm going to take a bathroom break, okay? I haven't had one for the last couple of times that everybody else has.
She's sick of her. At least she didn't tell her to shut up. Miss Love. She did say that, but anyway, I was just going to say that Schardt, I think he handled this witness well. I would, if I'm the jury, especially given his rap sheet and what he admitted to, and he's saying that he told them that he lied before they even got here. So I'm remembering Kenneth Copeland and his stuff. And he said it on the stand with both the DA and with the defense. His testimony is a wash. We're back to the evidence, and they don't have any strong evidence. I mean, there's strong evidence of other things that are unrelated to this case, but in terms of this case, Shannon Stillwell may be walking too, right along with Doug. We'll see. And that was funny though when she told her she was going to the restroom.
Present Counsel.
Thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Weinstein.
Good evening, Mr. Zachary.
Hey, how you?
Can you hear me okay?
Hey, how you?
I'm good, thank you. I am Diamante Kendrick's attorney, Doug Weinstein.
Yes.
Okay? I can call him Diamante Kendrick. You know him as Yak, right?
Yes.
So I'll just call him Yak when I'm having this conversation with you so that there's not any confusion, all right? You remember when you met Mr. Kendrick, when you met Yak?
I don't remember.
It was around 2014. Does that
Yes.
sound about right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know, Yak isn't from Cleveland Avenue, right?
Sure, I'm on my phone a lot, but it's actually so useful. I found the perfect car and had it financed, all on driveway.com.
That color? He writes music, right?
Yes.
He sings,
Yes.
he raps, and he's with the YSL record label, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Let's go back to 2015. Mr. Schardt talked about that some already. Let's return then to back in that summer of 2015. You testified that you were a drug user back then, right?
Yes.
And that at the time of that interview, August 5th, 2015, and I guess preceding that, you'd been going through withdrawal, right?
Yes.
But one of the things that you said on direct was that you can't put a guy with autism and ADHD in an interview room and expect him to tell the truth. You remember saying that?
Can't. I remember saying it though.
Okay. So you think people with autism can't tell the truth?
I mean, yes, but the tension and it kind of.
Are you blaming your lying on your autism?
I'm blaming my state of mind in that interview on my. I'm blaming what I said in the interview on my mind.
On your mind.
It's not my heart.
But folks with ADHD, they're capable of telling the truth, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not the autism and the ADHD that made you lie in that room, right?
No.
It was you trying to save yourself, correct?
Yes, I said that.
Okay. Today, as you sit here, you're a grown man, right?
Yes.
You take responsibility for your actions, correct?
Yes.
Okay. When you talk to the police, when you talk to Gaither and Dennis in 2015, you testified that you lied, right?
Yes.
And you lied on others to protect yourself.
Yes.
And you testified you thought, F everybody else, right?
I was dead wrong, yes.
And including everybody else, F Yak, F my client.
I was especially wrong for that.
Yeah, especially wrong for that because he's sitting right over there right now on trial, right?
He never showed me nothing but like love. Like,
I'm glad to hear you say that. Thank you. And you testified today that you love Garlington. You remember that?
yes.
Okay. And you also testified previously, earlier today. Are you okay, Mr. Zachary?
I got headaches. I'm okay.
I'm sorry. I'm going to try to speak a little quieter then. I don't want to make
It's
it.
okay. I get them. I'm good. It's okay.
Do you need any medication?
No, I'm
Water
okay.
or anything?
No, I'm good. I will
right.
get them.
Okay. If you have any issues while I'm asking you questions that make it difficult for you to answer, just let me know, okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Anyway, you testified that you love Garlington, right?
Yes.
And earlier you testified that you lied because Garlington came to you with a play.
Yes.
You testified also that you don't want to name folks. You don't want to lie on folks from Cleveland Avenue, right?
Yes.
And Yak's not from Cleveland Avenue. So you can lie on him, right?
Yes.
And your play that Garlington came to you with, that play was to name Shannon and Yak as being involved in the murder of Nutt.
It really wasn't like Garland told me like what somebody else had implicated him in and wanted him to do.
Yeah. But in that interview, you lied, and you said that Yak was involved in the murder of Donovan Thomas. You told the cops that.
I lied.
You lied. And when you lied and you told them that, they didn't dive in and ask you details of that at all, did they?
No.
They just took that and they went with it, correct?
Yes.
No further questions about that. And you remember testifying that you're cool with Copeland, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah, all right. You're cooler with are you cooler with Copeland than you were with Yak?
I don't even remember. But
okay,
Copeland.
Well,
I met Copeland first, so
yeah. And you testified that you didn't hang out much with Yak back then. You said you didn't hang out often. You remember that?
yes.
Okay. You also said, tell me if you remember testifying to this. Yak never told me nothing. You remember saying that?
He never.
Yak never told you he was involved in the Donovan Thomas murder.
No.
So you just made all that up?
Yes. I told y'all that. See, I don't know, like, if they ever got, but I done told my lawyer, like, when they came with deals and stuff, I was locked up, like, I was lying. Like, no, that's why I never took no plea or nothing. Like, I'm on probation, got nothing to do with this or nothing.
I understand, but you're sitting here today, right?
Yes.
And my client Yak is sitting over there, right?
Yes.
And you're not on the indictment.
No.
So it worked out okay for you.
No, it didn't.
It didn't. It didn't work out okay for Yak, did it?
No.
So you lied in 2015. In 2017, in your interview, you lied then too.
Objection, asked and answered.
Sustained.
But in that 2017 interview, you also said that you didn't believe those guys did it. You didn't believe Yak did it anymore. You remember that?
Objection, asked and answered.
In your 2017 interview, you said you didn't believe those guys, meaning Yak, Shannon, and the others, did it.
I'm gonna answer you and I'm gonna explain.
Go ahead.
Yes, because yes, I said that, but I had already like told the lawyer. That's why I told y'all, like, I don't know how I end up in there.
I understand. Thank you for
I
clarifying.
had been telling them like already that I was lying.
Yeah. And when they asked you who you thought did it, you said that you thought Kenneth Copeland did it.
Yes.
But never mind. I withdraw my objection.
You told Dennis and Gaither that you thought Woody was the shooter.
Your Honor, objection as to mischaracterization, and
He can answer yes, he told them that, or no, he didn't.
Is that the end of your objection?
yes.
Okay, overruled.
You told Dennis and Gaither that Woody was the shooter in your
Yes.
2017
Okay.
interview.
Yeah, sustained on that.
Okay. Do you remember saying that?
Your Honor,
All right.
objection if he's what?
You said,
Yeah.
do you remember testifying? Not testifying. Do you remember in your interview in 2017 with Dennis and Gaither? Do you remember saying one reason you thought Woody was the shooter, that y'all were
Your Honor,
calling
I'm
him
going
all
to
day?
object.
Hang on.
I'm going to object as to this line of questioning. I think it gets into something that has been litigated and opens the door to other things.
Okay, well, I don't know about that.
I will
but-
withdraw the question. then.
Okay.
Okay. Do you appreciate that sitting here today, your lies have caused Yak
Objection,
tremendous amounts of
improper
problems?
question.
and-
Objection, improper. Vague, speculation, relevance.
Sustained.
The questions I've asked you today, right now, have you testified truthfully to those questions that I've asked you?
Objection, bolstering.
Sustained.
Okay, I have no further questions for you.
All right. Anybody else with quick, as in not several hours? Okay. And you'll decide tomorrow? Okay. I think this is a good time to break for the day. So, Mr. Zachary, you will be back with us tomorrow at 9. I suspect that'll be your last day of testifying, but we'll see you at 9. And ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for your continued attention and attentiveness during this trial. And I'm just going to remind you that you need to decide the case ultimately based only on the evidence here in the courtroom. And so please do not consult or watch or listen to or read any accounts having to do with this trial, whether that is online, on the television, on the radio, on social media, anything whatsoever. Don't discuss the case with anybody or allow them to discuss it with you. And remember to leave your notepads in the jury room, wear your name tags, and we'll see you at 9 in the morning. Thank you.
All right, looks like still it's going to cross-examine tomorrow. And of course, the state is going to redirect. So we may not get to see whoever this witness is, this next witness, maybe the mom's boyfriend witness, till later this week. But I do want to still do his cross-examination. So I will be on tomorrow at about 11:30. Thank you so much. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.